Can't wait for all the stupid thumbnails that we're going to see on YouTube showing Michael Burry's picture and someone reacting to it with an open mouth. As you guys may or may not know, it was reported that Michael Burry's hedge fund, Scion Asset Management, had to report today that it was holding millions of dollars worth of puts. Now, the reporting around this was actually incorrect. So we're going to dive into exactly what Michael Burry is holding according to the 13F holdings, which are required by law. I'm going to tell you right now, if he's holding those puts, he's probably losing a ton of money at the moment. And more importantly, I'm going to tell you the real truth why this is not that big of a deal. So let's dive right into it before you get deluded by all of these stupid thumbnails that you're about to see and all these dumb videos that are probably going to get hundreds of thousands of views just off of this one really irrelevant reporting story or reported story. So let's dive right into it. What happened was on Monday was the deadline for the 13F filings. Now, in long story short, 13F filings are required by law if you are running a hedge fund. This is something required by all institutional investors. This is required by the SEC. Now, the two main reasons that this is making news is because of these two lines here. SPY and QQQ. As you guys know, the SPY is the S&P 500 ETF. QQQ is the Nasdaq ETF, and it is because of the value of these holdings and the fact that they are puts. Now, as you guys may surmise, puts are essentially bearish bets if you bought those puts. And everybody's going to mistakenly say that this is over a $1.6 billion bet. It isn't. It's the way that the 13F filings are reported. So essentially, if you dig deeper, you find that Scion and Michael Burry bought 20,000 contracts of SPY puts and 20,000 contracts of QQQ puts. So while the nominal value of the shares is around $1.6 billion, if they were converted into shares, right? Because 20,000 puts or 20,000 calls equates to control over the equivalent of 2 million shares. You have to times them by 100 because each call or each put gives you control over 100 shares. But he did not open a $1.6 billion bet against the QQQ or against the SPY. He literally opened 20,000 puts on the SPY and 20,000 puts on the QQQ. Now, we don't have any information as to what the expiration date is on those, so I can't tell you exactly what the value is, but I could tell you for sure that it is not $1.6 billion. Now, here's why Michael Burry is losing currently a shit ton of money if he's still holding this. And we don't know if he's still holding this, by the way. So I'll tell you why he's losing a ton of money, and then I'll finally tell you why it's really not that big of a deal. He's losing a shit ton of money because if you look at the 13F filings, he, as of June 30th, he was holding this. Now, we don't know the exact purchase date. We just know that as of June 30th, he was holding these 20,000 puts on each of the ETFs. And according to the 13F filing, which was due today, as of the time of this recording, August 14th, he had to report that he had these 20,000 puts on each of the ETFs. So assuming that June 30th was the day that he bought it, even though he bought it likely before that, well, the market has rallied significantly. Both the SPY and the QQQ have rallied significantly in June. So, as you know, options lose a shit ton of money, especially if they're going the wrong way, and you are getting closer to your expiration date. They have baked in time decay, or what we call theta decay, which is why we mostly prefer sticking to trading futures, and we only pick and choose options trades in certain circumstances, like when we're creating iron condors, selling covered calls, selling cash secure puts, spreads, etc. We are currently running 50% off for 3 months for our summer sale. We just launched on a new platform called WOP. Check the link out in the description. You get 50% off monthlies. It is the lowest ticket available to enter the academy. You get access to the chats, you get access to the trade alerts, the analysis, etc. And 50% off for the first 3 months. You definitely want to take advantage of that because we will not be doing that again for a very long time. The discount is summer sale. Put that at the checkout and you will be taken care of. Okay, so here's why this is not that big of a deal. Because if you look at the open interest on the SPY, which is the most traded ETF, the most traded options, and the S&P 500 futures are the most liquid futures on the market in the world, not only the US stock market, right? Look at all of this open interest just for August 18th. Again, I have no idea if Michael Burry still has these puts because he did bleed out a shit ton on those puts. And I don't even know what his expiration date is. But just take a look at pick any arbitrary expiration on the quarterly options or the monthly options. You'll see this. The 20,000 is nothing compared to what you see all the time on the SPY. The 380 puts have 72,000 open interest. The 400 puts have 95,000 open interest. The 410 puts have 105,000 open interest. The 420 puts have 117,000 open interest. 130,000 open interest, 65,000, 84,000, 108,000. You get the picture. And this is just for one expiration. We're talking about 20,000 puts on the SPY by one institutional investor. Like, this is insignificant, the fact that Michael Burry has done this. Plus, if you're saying, oh, well, institutional investors could be hedging, the whole time, but when Michael Burry does it, it's more significant. Well, yes, I respect Michael Burry as a polymath. The guy is a genius, right? I mean, he was a resident of neurosurgery at Stanford, I believe, and then ran off to start a successful hedge fund. But look at how many times Michael Burry has been wrong and has been publicly wrong and publicly bet on these predictions, saying that index funds are like subprime CDOs in 2019, right? And we are now back in a bull market, saying that Tesla was going to drop to God knows, I don't know what. He had a huge short position on Tesla December 2020. He had a huge short position in January 2021, and then he ended up closing it before Tesla did finally tank in 2022. And now it is back up 100% or more since its bottom, right? Saying that, betting that the market is going to be driven to the brink of collapse in February 2021. We were in a bull market in 2021, right? Saying that Bitcoin is a speculative bubble and poses a risk. That was March 2021. That was when Bitcoin reversed course and went to $65,000. You guys remember the mother of all crashes tweet, right? There cannot be another perfect setup like GameStop. He said this in January 2021. And that same month that he predicted it, AMC went absolutely apeshit. He said gold was doomed. Now gold is near an all-time high. I mean, there are just time and time again he's been wrong. And by the way, I'm not trying to single him out for being wrong. Tons of people are wrong. I'm wrong sometimes. Everybody's wrong. But to say that this guy somehow holds major weight when he has been wrong more than he has been right, and he has had one genius successful bet against the market. But guys, that was 2008. That was 15 years ago now, right? He's been wrong on almost every single prediction since. And again, I'm not, knocking him for being wrong. I'm just saying you guys who are going to make a big deal out of this know that, one, he lost a shit ton of money. Two, 20,000 puts, 20,000 calls is not a big deal. As I've just showed you on one random expiration, hundreds of thousands of puts at various strike prices, not even just one strike price. And three, the bet itself is not that big. It wasn't $1.6 billion, and we don't even know if he's still holding it. So take what you see with a grain of salt. Hopefully this cleared up sort of this whole stupid story. It's really not that big of a deal. Anyway, if you got anything out of this, give it a thumbs up. Again, 50% off for 3 months. Link is in the description below. We are currently doing live streams for fundraisers for the Maui wildfires. We had our first successful one today, and I'm matching personally every single donation you guys are making. So thank you guys so much for donating today. And then I ended up matching that donation, posted it on Instagram. If you want proof, check out my Instagram. You'll see it there. Subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell. Stay safe out there, traders. Peace.